What's happening with you? This is the Roy C. Gilmore podcast, where real don't get no realer and it don't come with a filter. I am your host, Roy C. Gilmore. Today I have a very special guest, and this guest will be sharing her experience with a warlock, binding spells and witchcraft on her. Y'all tune in. What is your name? Where you from?
My name is Leyla Milano. I'm from Ohio.
Okay, cool. So, in your experience, or from your point of view, what is your experience with the warlock? How did you meet the warlock?
I met him through one of my best friends. I had came back home for a wedding, and my best friend, she was dating his best friend. So we ended up at a cookout the next day after the wedding celebration. And he didn't like me. He didn't want to come out with me. And he didn't speak to me the whole ride to the cookout because his friend made him come. So he basically wanted me to stay away from him. I got to the cookout. I was playing games with the family. And he told his friend, like he was watching me the whole time. He told his friend, okay, I want to talk to this girl. She seems different. So his friend came up to me. He said, he's a serious person. Don't play with him. And I said, okay. I gave him my number. We talked. He ended up leaving town, or the country. And a few weeks after that, he was like, hey, I want you to come to see me. So he said we was going to talk when he got back to America, but we didn't end up talking, right? So I was just living my life. But no, he said he wanted something serious. So I said, okay, I'll come see you. I spent a few weeks over there, about 2-3 weeks. And when I got back home.
Or where?
In Nigeria.
Okay. So you went over to his place.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Y'all was serious.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I didn't think we were serious until he invited me over there. And then he was like, okay, I want to be serious. So I said, okay. So after that 3 weeks that I spent there, when I came back, he ended up coming back here. And that's when he started to say, like, I'm your spiritual husband. And I was like, yeah, I'm your spiritual wife. So I just went along with the whole okie doke. And that's when he started to talk crazy to me. See what you do, this will happen to you type stuff. And I was like, okay. Like, I ain't gonna do nothing.
Explain a little bit deeper on that. Like, what kind of things did he do? What kind of things did he say?
So, basically, if I decide to talk to somebody else, like another man or something like that, he would say, like, I'll know what you're doing. I'll see what you're doing. And then something will happen to you if you betray me, basically. So on that note, I was kind of weirded out by the way he said it. But I didn't think much of it because we had just gotten into the beginning of our relationship.
Right.
So
were y'all together at this point, or just unofficial, or was y'all just fucking, or what?
He told me he had somebody, right?
Okay.
A baby mama.
Okay. Was he with her, or?
He told me that he was with her for their son.
Okay.
Because his son has autism. Okay. So he has to go back and forth and help her, which I understood that. But he told me he's like, never cross her, and I never did. But most of the time he was with her. So he was in between Germany and Nigeria.
Okay.
For the entire relationship. I probably saw him maybe 3 times out of 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it was official, but not... You know, like, I was loyal to him, but like there was one time I had done something and he called me like the moment I got done doing the do.
Yeah.
And this was maybe like a month into our relationship. He would never answer my calls. I would try to tell him like, hey, I'm about to go do this or go do that, because he would tell me that I needed his permission, like to travel, to do anything, but he wouldn't answer the phone. But the moment I get to where I'm going, he would call me. It's the moment I park my car or the moment I like stop doing whatever I was doing. And he would tell me, you're doing some bullshit.
So I know that with African men, or just typically African men, they can be really different. Fucking controlling, and they believe in polygamy for damn sure.
Yeah.
They don't believe in commit to one woman, man. So that's what he sounds like he was on. And When you was over in Nigeria, did you knowingly take part in any rituals or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of. The only thing that I noticed was kind of odd is that when I was leaving, he would take, like when I watched in your second part, right? The bed sheets. He was like, I don't want your scent on the bed sheets. So he was like, he would ball them all up and then he would go give them to somebody to wash
What the fuck?
when I left, right?
What the fuck?
And then he would smell my neck and he would tell me when my period was coming.
So let me ask
And then it would come.
you this. Did the first time y'all had sex, did he say anything out of pocket? Did he write anything on you? Was there anything odd about the sex that y'all had?
He would say things like, I'm getting ready to leave. Like, you need to, I don't know how to explain it.
Hey, you can be blunt with me because I'm damn sure gonna be blunt with you. Like you ain't got to keep it classy. Tell that shit how it is.
He would say things like, you need to fuck me like you hate me. Like, I'm about to leave, right? You ain't about to see me for a while. Yeah, he would do weird things when we had sex. I would say him trying to make me feel insecure about another woman having him in that way to where I would want to do it more. But then he would block me from it. Like he wouldn't have sex with me. He would say I'm a holy man, right? So he would literally not sleep with me. He wouldn't have sex with me. But when he did, it was like he was trying to put something on me. Like he would come to me when he needed my energy.
So I know that because after I went through what I went through, I studied all of that shit. Studied different books. I read the book of Adam and Eve, the book of Enoch, the Bible. I studied some occult things just to get a deeper understanding on what it was that the woman put on me and what it was that I went through. And I know that when he would go days without fucking you, that was him fasting. I know during Egyptian sex magic, they would fast for, I think it was 3 days that I read, 3 days or multiple days, and
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't be around anybody. So they
Yeah,
would, essentially make their energy pure.
that's what he
No,
said.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, with him being from Africa and he probably know Egyptian sex magic, that's probably what it was. So
Mm-hmm.
you would fast, he would fast, y'all wouldn't deal with nobody, y'all probably wouldn't talk or anything. And then y'all would come together and have sex and he would set his intention upon you or set the intention on whatever it is that he wanted. That may have been controlling you, that may have been using your energy, who fucking knows. Did you ever ask him, was he putting anything on you?
No, I never asked him, but I could feel it because he gave subtle hints to me that he was. Like I said, he would say certain things, like either before or after we get done, but
Like
I
what?
never asked him about it. I just kind of went along with whatever. But I ended up like really just being my mental, even though he wasn't around, I was stuck to him. Like I
Right.
couldn't do nothing. So I knew it was something.
What kind of things would he say to you before and after that let you know that he was on bullshit?
He would say, I don't have sex with women. Like, I always use a condom. I always, how do you call it? Protect myself, and I just want to protect you. That's what he would just kind of try to reassure me. But then he would say, I'm going to get you pregnant. You're going to have 5 babies, and you're going to stay in the house. But he never had sex with me without a condom. But he always said he's going to get me pregnant.
So what kind of was the deal breaker that let you know for sure that he was a warlock and he was doing witchcraft on you?
That there was the second time I went to see him in Nigeria, he always makes sure somebody makes my food, right? Which is okay, but it's like, cause sometimes I make my own food, but he would ask certain people to prepare my food. And one night I was the only person in the house to get sick. He watched me. He said, "Come and eat." And I said, "Okay." He knows that I don't eat a lot. Now, we were supposed to go out that night. And after I got done eating, I was like, and I ate a lot. If you go to like a Applebee's and you get like a soup bowl, right, that would fill me up. So I ate a lot that night and I was like, I never eat this much. I ended up wanting to go lay down. So I ended up going to lay down and about, I would say an hour or two later, I woke up and I felt like I had to throw up and shit and pass out at the same time. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. Now, he has cameras all around the house. So as this was happening, there was his sister in the room. So all the commotion is happening, right? As I threw up my whole insides all over the place. And when he found out, which he already knew because of all the commotion, he didn't even come check on me. And he was like, "Did you drink too much?" Never has this man in his life seen me get drunk or even belligerent to the point where I would throw up. So for him to ask me that and not even ask if I was okay, he was just waiting to see if something would happen. And then the second time, he was like, him and somebody else went out. They came back with some food, and it was a cheeseburger and some French fries. He was like, "I know you're American. You like American food or whatever. You're probably tired of eating African food." Mind you, I eat African food all the time, so it doesn't bother my stomach. He made sure, like, I ate this burger. He kept asking, "Did you eat it? Did you eat all of it?" I warmed it up. I cut it in half, and I started to eat it. And then I heard a voice in my head that said, "Throw it up. Throw whatever you just ate up." And I threw it up. And I hid the rest of the burger and stuffed it in the back of the fridge because he said he wanted half of it. I gave him the other half, but he never ate it.
Right.
But he kept asking if I ate it. And kept checking. Are you sure you ate all your food? I said, "Yeah, I ate it." But I actually threw it up in the bathroom
So
on purpose.
what do you think that he did to it? I mean, because I've go ahead.
The only reason I say that, I don't know what he did to it, but before he brought it home to me, I had a dream about him. I took a nap and I had a dream about him and the person he went out with. When they came back, they had food. So I was like, something ain't right.
What would you
I
see
could
in the dream?
go ahead.
What would you see in the dream?
I saw him and the other guy. They were sitting at a round table. It was a group of people. But the main thing was like there was a huge bed in the house that I was in. And when they got back, they came into the room that I was sleeping in. And one of them was in a wheelchair and one of them was standing up, but they were both talking. But they were talking to me and they were laughing and cackling. So it was kind of like a vision. But when
Right.
they got back, both of them came into the room and I was still laying in the bed. And they both was like, "We got you food." But like I said, one of the men was in a wheelchair, not my ex at the time. So,
Okay.
and I told them, I said, "I saw y'all. I don't know what y'all up here doing, but I saw the both of you, and now you in my room, just like in my dream."
I know when it's that sounds like a bonding spell with the whole food thing because I interviewed a man where the lady made him some spaghetti. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that saying. Are you?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a girl when I was younger make me a cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake, fucking white girl.
Hmm.
Why I don't fuck with white girls now? You know what I'm saying? She had her blood in it. But
Ugh.
yeah, yeah, bonding spells, man. So from him for him being a man, the only thing I can think of is honestly him jacking off on the burger, maybe in the ingredients, spitting in it, putting his hair in it. You can use any type of bodily fluid, semen, spit, hair. You can use shit, piss, anything to bind that person, or blood, anything to bind that person to you.
I believe you because that trip was the one where he said we need to reestablish trust. And that's when I told him, I said, "I don't want to sleep with you. I don't want you to touch me. I'm gonna make my own food." That is where I think he brought the food for me to bind me again to him because that was after I cut off all contact. So he didn't know what else to do at that point because we weren't having sex. I had been celibate for a year since he had left.
Damn.
So he was, yeah, he was losing. And he would always tell me, "I can feel you. Your energy is low." Like he would call me when I was pulling my energy back and talk to me, actually talk to me.
That's how they do, man. That's how old girl did me. The more you listen to my story, the more you'll learn just how deep the shit go, and the more you'll wonder how the fuck I'm still alive. It with him, honestly, I typically don't do Caribbean women or Hispanic women. The girl that put the shit on me was a Dominican.
Mm,
Dominican, black and white. She was pretty. She was sweet.
yeah,
But, behind the compliments and all the sweet stuff she was doing, she's putting shit on me.
yeah.
So it's like I don't give a fuck that you're sweet and that you're pretty. If you on this type of time when I'm not looking at you, then little mama, I don't want you. And in the end, my free will is what saves me. Me not want to be there. Me not want to be there. I had my mama them praying, and it was a lot, man. And then, you'll learn that. But What kept you coming back to this man? Was he paying for your trips to Africa?
No, in fact, I paid for my. Okay, he paid for the first one. I paid for the second one. He paid for the third one, but I still spent my own money.
Were the trips expensive?
Not really. Like when I was there, I didn't really have to pay for much. But if I wanted to do something on my own, because even when I was there, he didn't pay no attention to me. He was out doing whatever. So
Yeah.
I mostly by myself. He will put people with me and go be wherever. So I guess what kept me coming back was, this is so corny, embarrassing.
Keep it real with me.
I wanted a family dynamic. And
Okay.
their family is very close, right, to each other. I love that. I mean, I have 10 brothers, right? And I don't see all of them. Maybe I'm close to maybe two of them. But I just love the family dynamic. And I was like, wow, I would love to be a part of this. And the family treats me like family. So I was like, okay. Like I can deal with his little shitty attitude sometimes. But no, I gained a family. That's why I kept coming back. But I told them that I'm not about to put up with him. I'm not gonna turn my back on y'all. But I'm not. That don't mean like I gotta be with him, right?
So,
So yeah.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, yeah. So he knew the whole situation. He knew long before I even came back the third time that I wasn't fooling with him. But he wanted to keep me in that loop with him.
So, did he ever have sex with you on your period?
He wouldn't. Okay, one time it came on. This is one thing he said to me. He said, I there was a girl that I had sex with. She started bleeding. He said, and I threw up and I broke up with her. So he told me, he's like, whenever I smell your neck and I smell your period coming on, I won't touch you. And he never did. Like when I was bleeding, he didn't. He would wait a couple of days, make sure it was done. One day I did bleed a little bit, but he wore a condom. So like when he saw it, I was like, well, he about to break up with me. But he didn't. He didn't. He was like, well, I love you too much to break up with you. He's
Okay.
like,
Did he ever mention the moon, do any type of moon magic with you? Did he ever want to fuck under a full moon when it was a full moon? Or did he ever spit in your mouth?
he didn't spit. Well, maybe I wouldn't call it spitting, but he did a little lot in my mouth, yeah,
Did he
with
like
his tongue.
okay? Did he ever nut in your mouth?
Yeah.
So I know you funny, man.
He would say, drink it.
So
Drink it.
you swallowed it?
Yep.
Okay. They either want to nut in you or they want you to swallow that shit. So if he not nutting in you, then the first thing came to mind was he obviously having her swallow his shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he never. He's
Ain't
so
no shame in
crazy.
my game.
Hey man, listen. We grown, ain't
Yeah.
So he never spit in your mouth, right?
No.
But whenever you was giving him head, was it like he wanted you to swallow it all the time thing, or it was just a sometime type shit?
I noticed he would say it every time. He would just say drink it every time, but I'm not a big head giver. So, but anytime that I would, like when he was ready to finish, he would say, yeah, drink it, drink it. And I would be like, sometimes I tried, but yeah, just drink it.
You funny, man.
You probably never heard it said that way, but
Man, listen. I know that a lot of things go on in the bedroom, but warlocks do typical things, man.
Mhm.
Having sex with you on your period, whether they constantly nutting in you, want you to swallow their nut, spitting in your mouth, trying to bind you, whatever the case is, man. It's some form of fucking control. Control.
I told him, I said, hey, look, I said, don't come and visit me spiritually. I'm cutting the cord. And he was like, I didn't give you permission. It takes two people to do that. And I said, because
It
I
don't take
said,
two.
God cut you off, my nigga. Sorry,
Yeah.
forgive me.
Nah, you
But
good, girl, you good. What was the climax of this situation? What like the peak of you and him and its craziness?
I would say when I ended up in the hospital, oh, excuse me, I had to burp. I was sleeping one night and I felt a huge wave of heat over my whole body. Thankfully, my mom was there that night. So I woke up and I was like, oh God, I don't feel right. And I was just like walking around, and I woke my mom up. I'm like, Mom, I think I might need to go to the hospital. And like immediately, all of this, like my whole arm, my whole leg, everything was numb. And I was like, can you drive me to the hospital? So we get there, it starts to get worse. And my blood pressure was through the roof. The doctors, they wouldn't give me any kind of medicine. My whole body was on fire. And I tell you, I felt like I was burning in hell. I was shaking. I couldn't even hold a cup to pee. And they was looking at me crazy. Like, so they put me in the stroke unit and they observed me for a few days. I had to go to physical therapy, very hard to walk. I called him and he didn't say nothing. He just looked at me and then I showed him that my mom was there with me. He was like, you all right, you'll be okay. And so a few days go past, I'm still in the hospital. These people cannot figure out what was wrong with me. They told me I needed to go to see a psychiatrist. Okay, so when I went to go see
I guess
the neurologist.
neurologist, yeah.
Yeah. So when they came in, I had to do a series of tests. These people was like, I don't know, it might go away in a few years. You might get your strength back. And I told him, and he was just like, I don't even know how you're still alive. And I was like, okay.
So what was the diagnosis? Was it like a stroke or was
They
it?
At first they called it a mini stroke, but I would have to go back and look at my records to see what they actually tried to diagnose me as. But basically the diagnosis was that they have no cure for it and they don't know what it is.
Okay, that's typical fucking sound like the fucking VA. Goddamn useless.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
go ahead.
they called it an emotional. They were like, do you suffer with anxiety, that kind of thing? I'm like, fine, I don't take medication. I don't even like to take regular medicine. So when I told him that and he said that to me, I simply was like, this man don't care about me at all. He just basically asked me, why am I still alive?
Yeah.
And like that put the cherry on top for me. One of his cousins called me and he was like, you're a chosen one. And then he called me after that and he said, you're more dangerous than me. And I was like, dangerous how? But he didn't say nothing. I was like, okay, I see what these people really on. They was trying me. They saw what they was doing wasn't working. And the last straw was that God told me to pray for them, right? So I gathered his family in a circle and I made everybody hold hands. And I said, everybody say a silent prayer, like in your head, but we're going to listen to this specific song that God put on my heart. And so while we were praying, I said, God, send a shockwave through every single person who's holding hands right now and release this family from whatever is holding them back, whatever devil, demon entity, whatever is attached to them. So I made everybody close their eyes too. By the end of it, and this was like a 10-minute prayer, right? By the end of it, like the cousin who had came and told me that I was a chosen one, he said he opened his eyes. He said I wasn't feeling it all the way. He said, but the atmosphere changed when you started praying. And he said, I looked over at my ex then, and he said he had broke down. Like he was like, and I kind of opened my eyes like towards the end of the prayer, and he was like this and like hanging to the side. Like his friend
Yeah.
had to hold him up and like he said, I've never seen him cry like that before. And I guess like a few weeks after that, he had told him that something was happening to him during that prayer. Like something was coming out of him. I don't know, but
Damn,
so
demons manifesting.
yeah, yeah. Like so, he said, I've never seen him break down like that. But after that, I was like, yeah, I can't be around you. I cannot have you around me. I said everything that was attached to you was affecting me. And I said, you will repay me for pain and suffering because you know what you did to me. And he said, I will.
So what did this ordeal teach you? Like how was did you, because I know a lot of times when that happened and God allows those things to happen to people to essentially make them more conscious, more aware, and people typically have spiritual awakenings after shit like that happened to them. So was that the case for you or was it something different?
Oh, that was the case for me.
Okay.
I did isolate myself for a little bit. Like I went through my little Delulu phase of thinking everybody might, be out to get me. But I have not succumbed to that kind of mindset.
Good.
I
Fucking
really
good.
just think, because he also said to me, he's like, you sure you want to do this? He said it can drive people crazy. I was like, you don't know how strong I am. And now
For
you the
sure.
one looking crazy. Talked about I can't sleep, can't eat. Well, I'm over here fine, motherfucker. See, what you did backfired. Bet you won't do it again.
You funny, man.
Losing money. Talk about I'm the witch. Look at you.
You funny, man.
You done
But
bewitched yourself, huh?
I understand that though, man. That's how it was when that girl put the shit on me. Her father died. Her best friends cut off. her money was fucked up. She lost her job. Like, her shit started to crumble.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was glad to know that there was some type of spiritual justice for what she did to me.
I'll never go back to something I prayed my way out of.
Hell yeah. Hell fuck yeah, man. And how was the sex between you and him? Because I know a lot of women, they stay with warlocks because of the sex.
I'm not gonna lie, the sex was bomb. It was the bomb.com. But
Was it different from any sex you've had with other men, or was it just good sex? Was it supernatural sex, or was it good sex?
it was supernatural. Supernatural for him. Cause he looked like he got oompa loompa pop belly. Like, I don't know how we got into them positions, to be honest. I just really, now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it was good.
was it something that you found yourself missing when you got out of the situation with him, or was you just fuck all that, fuck the sex, fuck him? I ain't think about it.
I did miss it, but at the time, he had taught me how to be alone and celibate for so long that I was able to live without it with ease.
Right.
Easier than like seeing him on a daily basis.
That
So
makes sense.
if I see you once a year for a week or two, you're teaching me how to live without you. And one
Right.
thing he did say was, I'm going to teach you how to be strong. And he did that. So
Yeah, I don't think he meant. I don't think he meant for them words to backfire on him, but they did.
they did. Yes.
So
Spiritual justice. You taught me how to
what?
be too strong. But yeah.
So what happened to the guy that you dealt with in the beginning? I know you said that when he was away, you had you did something with another dude. What happened to him? Was y'all still talking? Did old boy put something on him or what?
I never heard from him again after that. And you know what? As a fact, I'm a piggyback off of that because anytime that I would pull away and just be like, hey, go about your business. And I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't fucking nobody. But if anybody tried to talk to me in that manner, like a man, they would just fucking disappear. Never to be heard from again.
Did you ever ask God? Because I always ask this question. Did you ever ask God to reveal to you what this man was doing to you?
I did.
What did he show you? What did he say to you?
I can't say it like he showed me everything, but he started to show me things like his baby mama, their son, and he showed me him and his family, but they were all like kind of tragic situations that he were dealing with. He started to show me there was a girl that he was dealing with here in Ohio that I didn't know he had a whole place with.
Damn.
So, and she was helping run the company here that I was supposed to be running. So he showed me that. And then he showed me that he could possibly have a child on the way. And when I told him about this dream, he was like, well, I'm glad you told me because this woman just said she wanted to, but she's been talking about kids. And I told him in the dream, I saw him like he was in regret and sorrow, but I was the one holding and helping him take care of the child in the dream. And he didn't want nothing to do with it. And it was like a court setting. And maybe, I don't know, she would have put him on child support or something. I don't know. But he just started to reveal a lot of things that were going on in his life. And then he would start to tell me about them. But I wouldn't tell him my dreams. He would just confirm them.
Right. Okay. Damn.
And so I gotta tell you a couple of little small details. Because he would tell me like, oh, I don't take anything serious. When I told him my dreams, that's why I stopped telling him. I seen him. He had came into the room with me, like his spirit, so you would call it. Like you said, that shadow person, right? That little shadow person you saw. I saw him when I got with somebody else. It was standing in the corner of that man's room. And I was like, you ain't seen it? He said, no. But okay, anyways, besides the point. I told him, I was like, it was your family gathering. You were trying to talk to me. You sat on the bed and you started crying, but you couldn't get the words out to tell me what was wrong with you. And then after that, it was his baby mama. It was a celebration in the house, a birthday. And on that birthday, she blew the candle out. She FaceTimed him. She went into the mother's basement and she drowned herself in the tub. And then the baby would come back and forth. Him and the mother would come back and forth. The day I was quiet, he was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's going on? And all I heard was, get in the water, get in the water. And I told him, it's like, when I went to look it up, the lyrics, it was like a life for a life. And he said, my best friend's son died this morning. Like, the wife was pregnant. He was like, if you would have said something to me, we could have prayed over it. I'm like, I wasn't instructed to say nothing to you, but it's not my fault.
Right. Sometimes it's karma. Everything that God revealed to you ain't meant for you to share with a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that sounds like a destiny swap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever seen the movie The Skeleton Key?
No, I don't like scary movies.
Skeleton Key is about witchcraft. It's about a destiny swap. That's a fucking terrifying movie. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I ain't gonna watch it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
When you had your own experience with witchcraft, it hit different when you watch movies about witchcraft.
It do. It does. I've watched some.
These people, you really have to have discernment because you never know when a motherfucker is out to get you. You think that this man is just your saving grace or this woman is your saving grace, and they're approaching you when they've been watching you for a while and they are on assignment and it's like a predator-prey relationship.
I started to question everybody around him. But there was one person that he would always stick with me. I'm not calling my big brother. But one day, God had put in my heart to tell him to read the scripture. And I got to go back to the scripture because I don't remember it. But I just woke up and I was like, I texted him. I said, Marsh, read this when you wake up every day. I said, because you were put in something that doesn't have anything to do with you. And so when he read it, he said, whoa. He said, I used to read this scripture walking to school every single day as a child. He said, how did you know to send it to me? I said, I don't know. It's just what I heard. And he's the only one who's protected me from these people the entire time. He's
It's
never.
like that, man.
Yeah.
Like that. That's how my mama was. My mama was my rock, man. And I miss that lady.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had to give advice to young ladies about, dealing with men or with warlocks, what would you say?
I would say, because it's hard to give advice because the veil is over their eyes. So a lot of people who are not spiritually aware are not going to really see the signs. Yeah, you could be dealing with a narcissist, but if you're not willing to pay attention, like, I would say just, it's hard to tell another woman, like, not to feel some type of way about loving a man.
Right. But trust me, I know. They get in my fucking inbox, pay me for advice, I give it to them, and they fucking argue with me. You done paid me damn money for advice. I give you advice, and you telling me, but he loves me, but I love him. I don't want to leave him. Okay, we'll fucking stay then.
I'm only saying it's hard because I had a friend who I recently cut off as of the new year. I had a dream about her man who was cheating, and the dream ended in us not being friends. So I told her, I said, hey, I saw your man in the hotel room with another girl. And as we were walking out, like, it was me, you, and 3 other girls, but y'all all went one way and I went another way, and we wasn't friends. So that night, she says my cousin just found him on a dating site, and he didn't know she was my cousin, so they ended up breaking up. She was at my house crying. She was like, your dream confirmed it. My cousin confirmed it. Then she came back to me after she went back to him and was like, I don't want to hear about your dreams. I'll use my own discernment.
Crazy work. Crazy work. I just put a post on TikTok that said I'm not doing any more interviews with women about experience with warlock. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I did.
I put it up for that very fucking reason. Women don't listen.
Just say, it may not be easy to see the red flags at first, but if you're a woman picking up on it, in 2025, like, ain't nothing a secret no more. It's all in our face.
Yeah.
You can't be that blind. The blind is leading the blind, I guess. But as a woman who went through that and healed from it, it is the most, I don't know. You know the word jubilee?
Yeah.
It's fucking jubilee over here.
Yeah.
Like, and I was scared of him for a long time. He had people coming by my house, and it was just
controlling. It's about control.
Yeah, and when he found out he didn't have that control over me, especially because he's not around me, but for women within the vicinity of this man being able to get to them, that's a little bit different. But I would just say, to take back that control, make sure you have measures in place where you feel safe, even though every situation is not going to be as safe. But for the most part, you have to stay vigilant in your mind, especially dealing with that kind of stuff, because everybody gonna call you crazy. I'm still getting called crazy by my whole family. I promise you, ain't nobody but me and God right now.
Yeah.
Like, in my spirit thing, but like, all my friends is gone.
If I was you, I would go to God and ask him to cleanse you, because there may be some remnants of what that man did to you, or maybe he he dropped something off and you may not know about it if you're still, because you sent me the pictures of the scratches, right? That was you, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. But you sent me the pictures of the scratches. If that's still actively going on, then that man, there is a door open somewhere.
It's
Where's
not.
it?
It's been about it's been about a year now since I received my last scratch.
Okay,
I've
so
been
those
cleansing that man every day.
were old.
Yeah, so that was last
Okay.
year.
Okay, cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. Yeah, my bad, my bad. Okay, if that's the case, then shit, you good then.
Yeah, and
You good.
he tried to send some stuff home with me. I threw that shit away. Cause first of all, why is you sending me a home with a picture of myself?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with that? I have the picture of my phone. I don't need a frame to sit it on the counter. What are you doing? No,
That man probably enchanted the fuck out that picture.
and did cause
Yeah.
what? And he gonna talk about some. Why would you leave it here? I said I left it for you to look at. Why you giving me a picture of me? I look at me every day. But anyways, he said, you gonna die in this family. You stuck in this family forever.
Crazy work.
I said, no, I'm not. And I said, I don't care what you people do when you get here, but you gonna leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, that's diabolical, man. That's definitely control, man. Definitely control.
Yeah.
What made you want to tell your story on my podcast?
I felt like, so for weeks before I saw that, I felt called to do it, but I didn't know how to do it on my own. And I didn't know where to start. So when I
Right,
saw that, I was like, this is what this is it. Like, I have a
right.
chance. So, and I was like, I don't think he's going to message me back, but let me just shoot my shot. I got one more thing to tell you. This man, I had bought some panties, right, with his name on the back. I know you probably seen them panties on TikTok. You know what panties I'm talking about. I bought them
Yeah,
damn panties, but I never wore them, right? But they were in my suitcase. So I told you I didn't have sex with him the last time I saw him, but he took them panties. And I don't, still to this day, I don't know what he did with them. But he took them and was like, he said, give me these, and
yeah.
did whatever he wanted to do with them.
Man, them bitches are buried in his backyard somewhere. That what they at.
What?
Yeah,
You
they
funny
buried in his
too.
goddamn backyard. I
Nice
appreciate your
meeting you.
time. Of course, of course. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you trusting me with your story.
Thank you. Thank you for
All right, for
letting me
sure.
share my story.